Everyone knows that Lotus is an attack-sided map. In fact, statistically, it's the most attack-sided map in the pool. In our Week 2 match versus Leviathan, there were only 9 defensive rounds won. That's both teams combined, with 12 rounds of OT, 36 rounds played, 9 defensive rounds won. That's crazy. So why is Lotus so attacker-sided? First off, it's got 3 bomb sites, so the defenders are more spread out since they need to cover more ground. Then you've got the insane rotation time to go from one end to the other. To make matters worse for the defenders, the A and C sites are what Cap likes to call stronghold sites. Retaking A and C is pretty difficult since the lanes the defenders have back into the site are so narrow. So, as a defender, you don't ever really want to give up either of these sites. This lets the attackers take map control, run a pump fake, and then hit the weaker site. This makes the main areas outside A and C sites, Rubble and Mound, super important to the defenders. You'll always see the defending team fighting for one or both of these locations, since if you control one of them, you can tell if the attacking team is running a fake. But fighting for these locations requires a huge amount of util from the defenders. So, with that basic lesson in map theory in mind, let's take a look at how we were able to turn our Lotus around from our Lev game and get 9 defensive rounds versus MIBR. Alright, wait. I'm going to stop you there. I can already see what you guys are doing. Listen, I wrote this after the MIBR game. This takes forever to make. I'm sorry, like there's animations and stuff, so I don't know what happens. Everything in here is true. Like it all is like factually true. I just can't get in the server and play for these guys. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, back to the video.
Deep haunts and pressure applied here by Sentinels out towards A Rubble. They won't control with this area. Really only being postured off by Mazine as a paranoia exchange on either side out on the opposite section of the map with Mazine falling. A control now going to be going towards Sentinels and all in the middle of all of this. Tucked to the corner, that's Zelsis here and he's playing again to bait and switch and a snap to the side. RGL Meister at least with the trade, but now he's just a solo player. One left standing, TP's up and it's too predictable.
The first round to look at is round 4. Both teams are on a pretty decent buy. The only outliers being Tens on the Outlaw and JZZ on the Bulldog, and 2 MIBR players on half shields. The round starts with Saucy, John, and Zekin fighting for Rubble control. John mollies the run out, Saucy hits it with a Fade Eye, and Zekin tosses in a Boombot for good measure. Once it's clear that there's not going to be a giant fight for Rubble, John cheats back to anchor B. Eventually, Saucy re-clears A main with a Prowler, spots one, and goes in for the fight with Zekin, cleaning up Mazine. With Rubble control established, we now know that MIBR has to either hit C or B. Over on the other side of the map, Tens has been holding the fort down with the Outlaw, not seeing anything. In fact, Zelsis was able to walk across C main and tuck in behind the box by the door. As MIBR creeps up C, FRZ tries to lurk out onto B, only to get annihilated by John. With nowhere else to go, MIBR has to run it down C, where Tens and Zelsis get some nice trades. RGL does kill Zelsis, but it's a 4-on-1, and he's got nowhere to go, and John rotates in for the easy cleanup. So in this round, we were able to pick apart MIBR easily by taking control of both Mound and Rubble. We did have to leave B open at the start of the round, but it's not a big deal since it's easy for us to retake, and it did cost us tons of util to get this control, but you can see just how valuable it is. Once we had Rubble, MIBR was completely lost. FRZ was forced to try and lurk out onto B to find some kind of opening, and he just gets shut down. With no map control at all, MIBR is just forced to run it down, and they eat shit for it. So now that we've seen how a standard round looks, let's take a look at the following round, and see how we play around MIBR when they've got no money.
Arzine with an ult and a Bulldog.
I have to spike.
Real tools at their disposal, see if they can apply some pressure with that one, maybe with a pick.
Drop down to 10 HP again there.
For Llama safety.
Yeah. Oh, with the amount that Sen have been using the Outlaw, it doesn't seem like a bad idea to go for it.
Here.
The A pressure now, we're going to be sending all of their players out towards C. Haven't actually got rid of any of this setup. The Nano Swarms, significant amount of damage there, but just offering the upgrade now with the kill. Found.
30 seconds
4v5. That will go down. Yes, it will. Might be a kill, though. Yes, with the util flushing RGL Meister out into the open. Straight into the rifle fire, but it's just an exchange of hands here. Now the showstopper really being afforded to use.
They're trying to buy enough time
for JCC to come around, and Sassy's watching for it.
It's the awareness by Sassy. Just expecting that could be a possibility. Of course, that noise was made a little bit earlier and prior. Haunt taken care of, but not enough there. Can't level the shots. So Sentinels, a really good win for them, in all honesty as well. I mean, 4 players surviving and getting some of those critical ults out of MIBR.
We start off in a 2-1-2, with Zelsis and John over on C, Zekin holding down B with the Outlaw, and Tens and Sassy on A. The first thing you'll notice is that we don't really fight for Mound or Rubble. Sure, Sassy throws an eye out, but he immediately goes back to playing on site. Same thing for Tens. Dude is just chilling in tree watching the door. Why are we giving up all this control? If I just spent 3 paragraphs talking about why it's so important, it's because MIBR's broke. They're trying to make a ape strong together play, which is what you're supposed to do on an eco. But the way you deal with this is you let them use what little util they have, and you don't get roped into messy fights where you can just get swarmed and end up giving them a gun. Look at how safe we're playing. I mean, John's holding the stairs from spawn. Zelsis is back on C playing off his util. Sure, Zekin is playing a forward line on B site, but he's got John's wall he can blast pack behind after first contact. So we've got all our bases covered. What does MIBR do? Exactly what I spelled out at the start of the video. They take Rubble control, fake that the hit is coming A, and then double back to C. Mazine tries to lurk out B, but eats an outlaw shot to the chest and has to run away. JZZ is lurking outside A, trying to sell a fake with his dog, and it kinda works. Sassy and Tens are still on A, and John is still holding stairs from spawn. So Zelsis is alone on C when the hit comes in, but he does massive damage with his mollies. I know I was talking about how hard A and C sites are to retake, you know, the whole stronghold sites thing, but in this case, it's not a problem at all, since we didn't commit a ton of util towards the Rubble and Mound fight. Zach still has his nade, which he uses to flush RGL into Tens. Tens has a smoke, which he uses to one-way the little path between C main and Waterfall. Artzine pops his showstopper, but it's not like we're in a rush. We have plenty of time, so we just kind of sit back for a bit. In fact, by waiting, this lets Sassy catch JZZ on the flank. With no easy targets, Artzine tries to fire his rocket down Waterfall, but Zekin is just too fast. Now, just look at this util set we throw on the retake. Sassy's got this insane eye that clears out pretty much the whole site. John mollies Ben, forcing FRZ to play on ramp, right where Tens is throwing his paranoia. The guys flood in and make it look just too easy. All because we recognized that MIBR was on an eco, and therefore wouldn't have the guns and util to really exploit the map control that we gave them. There is one thing that is missing from our game versus MIBR, that we did have to pull out versus Lev, and that is insane clutches. We just played so well versus MIBR that we never were really in a situation where John or Tens had to put on the cape and remind everybody what a freak they are. So, if you guys would indulge me, let's do a quick breakdown of John QT's 4K versus Lev. In 3.18 seconds, John got his 4K, but what's more impressive to me is how he had to flick for all 4 kills. I mean, you saw the numbers on screen. The guy's an animal. But John wasn't alone in his heroics. In the very next round, Tens reminded everybody why he's the main character, and we're all just NPCs. The time from when he spots Aspas to hitting the headshot is 0.1 seconds. The time from when he spots King to hitting the headshot is 0.09 seconds. What the hell? The average human reaction time is 0.25. The kid is operating at a superhuman level. But it's not just Tens being a freak. You have to have the proper gear to perform at a level like this. Thankfully, Zowie hooked the guys up with the XL2566K 360Hz monitor.
Wait, Jordan, what are you doing? This is my thing. If anyone's selling anything, it's me. So anyway, the Zowie XL2566K 360Hz monitor and its fast TN panel gives you the clarity to hit insane clutches like this. Also, it's got the diac for extra motion clarity, so we can have moments of absolute cinema like these from John and Tens. Wait, you're not talking about my play? What the hell? Bro, you're not Tens.
Whatever, man. With Black Equalizer paired with Diac, you'll spot every detail on the map. You can get your own Zowie XL2566K by clicking the link in the description below and play with the same gear we all use in Sen City.
Well, there you have it, guys. The next time you're grinding ranked and Lotus comes up, try to keep what we talked about in mind. You want to fight for Rubble and Mound, establish that map control, and from there, everything else is easy. That is, until you get some grief for ooh-wooing and comms and ruining the vibes. Also, now you have proof then I sound nothing like Zelsis.